The silent lion. Strength is not who roars the loudest, but who acts wisely. The myth of the loudest voice. In a world obsessed with visibility, where social media feeds are flooded with bold declarations, flashy performances, and constant self-promotion, it's easy to believe that strength is measured by how loudly you roar. We celebrate those who dominate conversations, demand attention, and project an aura of invincibility. But what if true power isn't about making noise? What if it's about something quieter, deeper, and far more impactful? Picture the lion, the king of the jungle. It doesn't spend its days roaring to prove dominance. Instead, it observes, waits, and acts only when the moment is right. Its strength lies not in aggression, but in wisdom, patience, and precision. True leadership operates the same way. It's not performative, it's strategic. And the most respected leaders aren't always the ones shouting from the rooftops. They're the ones whose presence commands respect even in silence. In this video, we'll explore why quiet strength often outlasts loud displays, how wisdom trumps impulsiveness, and why observing before acting can be your greatest advantage. By the end, you'll understand why the silent lion reigns supreme, and how you can embody its principles in your own life. So, if you're ready to harness the power of thoughtful action, let's dive in. Why we celebrate noise over silence. The culture of performative strength. We live in a society that glorifies visible performance. From influencers flaunting curated lifestyles on Instagram to corporate executives boasting about their hustle culture, there's immense pressure to appear strong, confident, and unstoppable. This emphasis on outward displays of strength creates a culture where noise, whether literal or metaphorical, is often mistaken for power. Think about it. How many times have you seen someone praised for being the loudest person in the room? Whether it's dominating a meeting, posting constant updates online, or asserting dominance through aggressive behavior, we tend to equate visibility with competence. The louder the roar, the more impressive the performance, or so we're led to believe. But here's the problem. Performative strength is often hollow. It prioritizes appearances over substance, creating an illusion of control without delivering real results. For example, someone who talks over others in meetings might seem authoritative, but their inability to listen could lead to poor decision-making. Similarly, someone who constantly brags about their achievements might struggle with genuine self-worth behind closed doors. Performative strength may win temporary admiration, but it rarely earns lasting respect. The illusion of control through noise. Why do we fall for the myth that louder equals stronger? One reason is that noise gives the illusion of control. When people speak forcefully, act boldly, or project confidence, they create the impression that they have everything under control, even if they don't. This can be reassuring in uncertain situations, where others look to leaders, or perceived leaders, for guidance. However, this reliance on noise as a sign of strength is deceptive. True leadership isn't about controlling others. It's about inspiring trust and fostering collaboration. Leaders who rely solely on loud displays often alienate those around them, creating environments of fear or resentment rather than mutual respect. In contrast, quiet strength builds deeper connections because it prioritizes understanding over intimidation and action over posturing. The fear of being overlooked. Another reason we celebrate noise is the fear of being overlooked. In a fast-paced, competitive world, staying silent can feel risky. If you don't assert yourself, will anyone notice you? Will your contributions matter? These fears drive many people to amplify their voices, sometimes at the expense of authenticity. For instance, consider someone who feels compelled to share every idea in a brainstorming session, even if their input isn't fully thought out. They might worry that remaining quiet will make them seem unengaged or unimportant. But in reality, speaking just to be heard often dilutes the value of what's said. By contrast, those who observe quietly before contributing tend to offer insights that are more thoughtful and impactful. The cost of prioritizing noise. While making noise might bring short-term attention, it comes at a cost. Constantly seeking validation through external displays of strength leaves little room for introspection or growth. It also fosters superficial relationships, as interactions become transactional rather than meaningful. Over time, this approach erodes trust and credibility. Moreover, the focus on noise perpetuates a cycle of exhaustion. People feel pressured to maintain a facade of strength, even when they're struggling internally. This leads to burnout, imposter syndrome, and a sense of disconnection from one's true self. The irony is that by trying so hard to appear powerful, individuals often undermine the very qualities, authenticity, resilience, wisdom, that define true strength. Ultimately, the celebration of noise over silence reflects a misunderstanding of what it means to be strong. Real power doesn't come from shouting the loudest. It comes from knowing when to speak, when to listen, and when to act. As we'll explore in the next sections, the silent lion embodies this principle perfectly, teaching us that true strength lies in strategy, not spectacle. The power of observing before acting. The lion's strategy. Watching before pouncing. The lion doesn't rush into action. It observes. Hidden in the tall grass, it studies its surroundings, waits for the perfect moment, and strikes with precision. This approach is the essence of true strength. Understanding that power isn't about constant motion, but about calculated movement. By observing before acting, the lion conserves energy, minimizes risk, and maximizes impact. Humans can learn a lot from this strategy. In our fast-paced world, we're often encouraged to act quickly, to respond immediately to emails, make snap decisions, or jump on trends without fully thinking them through. But haste rarely leads to wisdom. Just as the lion understands that premature action can scare away prey, we must recognize that rushing into situations without proper observation can lead to mistakes, wasted effort, and missed opportunities. For example, consider a manager faced with conflict within their team. A reactive leader might immediately call a meeting, raise their voice, or impose strict rules to restore order. While this might provide temporary relief, it doesn't address the root cause of the issue. On the other hand, a leader who takes time to observe, listening to team members, analyzing patterns, and reflecting on potential solutions, can craft a thoughtful response that resolves the problem sustainably. Observation allows you to see the bigger picture, anticipate challenges, and act decisively when the time is right. The art of listening, without interrupting. One of the most powerful forms of observation is listening, not just hearing words, but truly understanding what others are saying. In conversations, many people focus on formulating their next response rather than absorbing the speaker's message. This habit not only diminishes the quality of communication, but also signals a lack of respect and presence. Silent observation flips this dynamic. When you listen without interrupting, you create space for trust and connection to grow. People feel valued because they know you're paying attention. For instance, imagine sitting across from someone who nods thoughtfully, maintains eye contact, and asks clarifying questions. Their silence speaks volumes, conveying empathy and understanding far more effectively than any rehearsed speech ever could. This principle applies beyond personal interactions. Leaders who prioritize listening over speaking foster environments where creativity thrives. Employees feel empowered to share ideas, knowing their voices will be heard. Similarly, individuals who practice active listening develop stronger relationships, both personally and professionally. Silence isn't empty. It's rich with possibility, if you know how to use it wisely. Patience as a form of strength. Observation requires patience, and patience is one of the most underrated forms of strength. It's easy to mistake stillness for passivity, but there's immense power in waiting for the right moment to act. Patience allows you to gather information, assess risks, and align your actions with your goals. It ensures that when you do move, your efforts are deliberate and effective. Take, for example, an entrepreneur launching a new product. Instead of rushing to market based on initial excitement, a patient entrepreneur conducts thorough research, tests prototypes, and gathers feedback before releasing the final version. This methodical approach increases the likelihood of success while reducing unnecessary setbacks. Patience transforms impulsive reactions into strategic decisions, turning potential failures into stepping stones toward growth. Patience also helps you navigate uncertainty. Life is unpredictable, and there will be times when answers aren't immediately clear. Rather than forcing outcomes, patient observation enables you to sit with ambiguity, trusting that clarity will emerge in due time. As philosopher Lao Tzu once said, "Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished." The same holds true for human endeavors. Sometimes the best action is mindful inaction. Learning through observation. Finally, observation is a gateway to learning. When you take the time to watch, listen, and reflect, you open yourself up to insights that might otherwise go unnoticed. Every situation contains lessons, but only those who pay attention can extract them. Consider a mentorship scenario. A junior employee eager to prove themselves might monopolize discussions, trying to demonstrate knowledge they haven't yet mastered. Meanwhile, another employee quietly observes the mentor's techniques, asks thoughtful questions, and applies what they've learned behind the scenes. Over time, the second individual surpasses the first, not because they were louder or flashier, but because they embrace the power of observation. Observation also teaches humility. By recognizing that you don't have all the answers, you remain open to growth. You begin to see challenges as opportunities to expand your perspective rather than threats to your ego. This mindset shift fosters resilience, enabling you to adapt and thrive in ever-changing circumstances. The quiet authority of strategic action. The power of deliberate movement. True strength lies not in constant motion, but in deliberate, purposeful action. The silent lion doesn't waste energy chasing every potential opportunity. It waits for the right moment to strike, ensuring that its efforts yield maximum impact. This principle applies equally to human behavior. Strategic action, the ability to move with intention and precision, is what separates those who merely react from those who lead with quiet authority. Consider a chess player. A novice might make quick, impulsive moves, eager to capture pieces or dominate the board. But a master observes the entire game, anticipating opponents' strategies and positioning themselves for long-term success. Each move is calculated, each decision aligned with a larger vision. Similarly, individuals who embody strategic action don't rush into decisions. They weigh options, consider consequences, and act only when the timing is optimal. This approach commands respect because it demonstrates clarity, foresight, and control. For example, think about a leader navigating organizational change. Instead of hastily implementing new policies in response to external pressures, a strategic leader gathers input from stakeholders, analyzes data, and communicates transparently about the rationale behind changes. Their actions may unfold slowly, but they are grounded in wisdom and integrity. As a result, their authority isn't questioned, it's trusted. Silent leadership, leading by example. Quiet authority often manifests as leading by example, rather than through grand gestures or declarations. Leaders who operate this way understand that actions speak louder than words. They don't need to boast about their accomplishments or demand compliance. Their behavior sets a standard that others naturally follow. Take the case of a team manager who consistently meets deadlines, treats colleagues with respect, and maintains composure under pressure. Without saying a word, they inspire their team to adopt similar habits. Their presence alone creates an environment of accountability and excellence. Conversely, leaders who rely on loud directives or aggressive tactics often struggle to earn genuine loyalty. Their teams may comply out of obligation, but true commitment requires something deeper, a sense of shared values and mutual respect. This form of leadership extends beyond professional settings. In personal relationships, quiet authority fosters trust and admiration. For instance, a parent who models patience, kindness, and resilience teaches these qualities more effectively than one who lectures or imposes rules without embodying them. Silent leadership isn't passive. It's active in its consistency and authenticity. Confidence, without arrogance. One hallmark of quiet authority is confidence that doesn't cross into arrogance. Confident individuals know their worth, but they also recognize the value of others. They don't feel the need to dominate conversations, overshadow peers, or prove their superiority. Instead, they let their actions do the talking. This balance between confidence and humility is magnetic. People are drawn to leaders who exude self-assurance without diminishing those around them. For example, imagine attending a networking event where two professionals are vying for attention. One dominates the conversation, interrupting others and repeatedly mentioning their achievements. The other listens intently, asks thoughtful questions, and shares insights only when relevant. Who leaves a lasting impression? The second individual, not because they tried harder to impress, but because their quiet confidence resonated more deeply. Arrogance alienates. Quiet confidence connects. When you act strategically and authentically, you cultivate an aura of authority that inspires trust and admiration without demanding it, building trust through consistency. Another defining trait of quiet authority is consistency. Strategic leaders don't vacillate between bold declarations and sudden retreats. They maintain a steady course, even amidst uncertainty. This reliability builds trust, as people come to expect dependability and fairness in all interactions. For instance, consider a project manager overseeing a high-stakes initiative. If they communicate updates regularly, address concerns promptly, and adapt plans thoughtfully, their team feels secure knowing they're in capable hands. Even during challenging moments, the manager's calm demeanor reassures everyone that obstacles will be handled with care and competence. Over time, this consistent behavior cements their reputation as a leader worth following. Consistency also reinforces credibility. When your words align with your actions, when you say what you mean and do what you say, you establish yourself as someone who can be counted on. This reliability amplifies your influence, allowing you to wield authority without needing to assert it loudly. The ripple effect of quiet strength. When you lead with quiet authority, your impact extends far beyond immediate outcomes. Your actions create a ripple effect, inspiring others to adopt similar principles of observation, patience, and strategic thinking. This multiplier effect is one of the most profound rewards of embracing the silent lion's approach. For example, a teacher who embodies quiet strength influences not just their students' academic performance, but also their character development. By modeling thoughtful decision-making, active listening, and resilience, the teacher instills these values in the next generation. Similarly, a business leader who prioritizes ethical practices and long-term vision encourages employees to carry those ideals forward in their own careers. Quiet authority transforms not only individuals, but also communities. It fosters cultures of respect, collaboration, and innovation. Environments where everyone has the opportunity to thrive, and while the lion may roar occasionally, its true legacy lies in the enduring strength of its presence. Contrasting the silent lion with the performative roar. The performative roar, strength that fades. While the silent lion embodies quiet authority and strategic action, the performative roar represents the opposite. A loud, attention-grabbing display of strength that often lacks substance. Performative leaders or individuals rely on spectacle to assert dominance, but their impact is fleeting. Their roars may capture attention momentarily, but they rarely inspire lasting trust or respect. Think about someone who dominates meetings by talking over others, interrupting frequently, or dismissing opposing viewpoints. At first glance, their behavior might seem confident or decisive. However, upon closer inspection, it reveals insecurity, a need to overpower others to mask uncertainty or inadequacy. This type of leadership creates environments rife with tension and resentment. People don't follow such individuals out of admiration. They comply out of fear or obligation. Once the noise fades, so does the influence. For instance, consider a public figure who constantly seeks media attention, making bold statements to stay in the spotlight. While their words might generate headlines, they often lack depth or follow-through. Over time, audiences grow skeptical, recognizing the disconnect between rhetoric and reality. Performative strength is like a firework. It dazzles briefly but leaves no lasting impression. Short-term gains versus long-term impact. One key difference between the silent lion and the performative roar lies in their respective timelines. Performative strength prioritizes short-term gains, immediate recognition, quick wins, or surface-level validation. It thrives on instant gratification, feeding off applause or approval without considering the long-term consequences. In contrast, the silent lion focuses on sustainable impact. Its actions are deliberate and measured, designed to produce results that endure beyond the moment. For example, imagine two entrepreneurs launching competing businesses. One invests heavily in flashy marketing campaigns, securing early buzz but neglecting product quality. The other focuses on building a solid foundation, refining their offering, fostering customer relationships, and scaling gradually. While the first entrepreneur may enjoy initial success, their business risks collapsing under scrutiny. Meanwhile, the second entrepreneur builds a loyal following and a reputation for excellence that withstands the test of time. This principle applies across all areas of life. Whether in leadership, relationships, or personal growth, those who prioritize substance over spectacle create legacies that last. The silent lion's strength lies not in how quickly it acts, but in the enduring value of its contributions. Authenticity versus posturing. Another critical distinction is authenticity. The silent lion operates from a place of genuine self-awareness and purpose. Its actions align with its values, creating a sense of integrity that inspires trust. In contrast, the performative roar often stems from posturing. an attempt to project an image of strength that doesn't match internal reality. Take, for example, a manager who publicly claims to value teamwork, yet consistently takes credit for others' ideas or undermines colleagues behind closed doors. Such behavior erodes credibility and alienates team members. On the other hand, a leader who quietly supports their team, amplifies others' voices, and acknowledges collective effort fosters a culture of mutual respect. Authenticity resonates deeply, while posturing eventually unravels. This dynamic plays out in social contexts as well. Consider someone who brags excessively about their achievements or exaggerates stories to appear more impressive. While they might initially attract attention, people soon see through the facade, leading to distrust and disconnection. True strength comes from being unapologetically yourself, not trying to be someone you're not. The emotional toll of performative strength. Performative strength isn't just ineffective, it's emotionally exhausting. Constantly seeking validation through external displays forces individuals to maintain a facade, leaving little room for vulnerability or authenticity. Over time, this pressure takes a toll on mental health, contributing to stress, anxiety, and burnout. For example, think about someone who feels compelled to attend every networking event, post daily updates showcasing their perfect life, or dominate conversations to prove their worth. These behaviors may temporarily boost self-esteem, but they also reinforce a cycle of dependency on external affirmation. When the applause fades, or worse, when criticism arises, the individual feels exposed and inadequate. In contrast, the silent lion's approach fosters emotional resilience. By focusing on internal alignment, rather than external approval, it cultivates a sense of peace and confidence that isn't contingent on others' opinions. This inner stability allows individuals to navigate challenges with grace, knowing their strength comes from within, rather than from outward validation. Why the silent lion endures? Ultimately, the silent lion endures because its power is rooted in authenticity, patience, and wisdom. Performative strength, no matter how dazzling, cannot compete with the quiet authority of someone who leads by example, listens intently, and acts strategically. The lion's silence speaks volumes. It conveys confidence, respect, and an unwavering commitment to meaningful action. As we've seen, the contrast between these two approaches highlights a fundamental truth. True strength isn't about who roars the loudest, it's about who acts wisely. The silent lion teaches us that real power lies not in drawing attention to ourselves, but in earning the trust and admiration of others through consistent, thoughtful behavior. Embodying the silent lion in your life. Now that we've explored the profound differences between performative strength and quiet authority, let's distill everything into actionable steps you can implement today. These takeaways are designed to help you channel the silent lion's wisdom, patience, and strategic mindset in your daily life, whether in leadership, relationships, or personal growth. Step 1. Practice mindful observation. Before acting, before jumping into decisions or conversations, pause and observe. Take a few moments to assess the situation, gather information, and consider potential outcomes. Ask yourself, what am I trying to achieve here? Am I reacting impulsively? Or is this a thoughtful response? What can I learn from observing before acting? This practice trains you to approach challenges with clarity and intention, ensuring your actions are deliberate and impactful. Step 2. Cultivate active listening skills. Listening is one of the most powerful tools for building trust and influence. To become a better listener, focus fully on the speaker without interrupting or planning your next response. Use nonverbal cues like nodding and maintaining eye contact to show engagement. Reflect back what you've heard by paraphrasing or asking clarifying questions. By prioritizing listening over speaking, you'll naturally command respect and foster deeper connections. Step 3. Lead by example. Not declaration actions speak louder than words. Instead of telling others what to do, model the behaviors you want to see. For example, if you value punctuality, always arrive on time. If teamwork is important to you, actively collaborate and acknowledge contributions. Demonstrate resilience by staying calm under pressure and finding solutions instead of assigning blame. When your behavior aligns with your values, people will naturally follow your lead. Step 4. Balance confidence with humility. Confidence inspires trust, but arrogance alienates. To strike the right balance, acknowledge your strengths without overshadowing others. Be open to feedback and willing to admit mistakes. Celebrate the achievements of those around you, recognizing that success is often a collective effort. Quiet confidence wins hearts and minds far more effectively than loud declarations. Step 5. Prioritize consistency over flashiness. Consistency builds credibility. Whether you're leading a team, nurturing relationships, or pursuing personal goals, aim to be reliable and dependable. For instance, communicate transparently and follow through on promises. Maintain steady progress toward your objectives, even if it feels slow. Treat everyone with fairness and respect, regardless of circumstances. Over time, your consistent behavior will establish you as someone who can be trusted, a hallmark of true authority. Step 6. Resist the urge to seek external validation. Performative strength thrives on external applause, but quiet authority comes from within. To break free from the need for validation, reflect on your core values and ensure your actions align with them. Limit activities or habits driven solely by the desire for attention, e.g., excessive social media use. Remind yourself that your worth isn't determined by others' opinions. It's defined by your character and contributions. When you stop seeking approval from outside sources, you'll find a deeper sense of fulfillment and resilience. In a world that often celebrates noise over nuance, the silent lion reminds us of a timeless truth. True strength isn't about who roars the loudest. It's about who acts wisely. Quiet authority, rooted in observation, patience, and authenticity, has the power to transform not only our own lives, but also the lives of those around us. It teaches us that leadership isn't performative, it's strategic. That confidence doesn't demand attention, it commands respect, and that silence, when used intentionally, can speak louder than any shout. By embracing the principles of the silent lion, you step into a deeper, more enduring form of power. You learn to observe before acting, listen before speaking, and lead by example rather than declaration. These qualities don't just make you stronger, they make you wiser, more compassionate, and more influential. They enable you to navigate life's challenges with grace and purpose, leaving a legacy that endures long after the moment has passed. Now I'd love to hear from you. In what areas of your life could you benefit from adopting the silent lion's approach? Have you ever experienced the power of quiet authority, either in yourself or someone else? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We're all here to learn and grow together. Before you go, don't forget to hit that like button if this video resonated with you. Your support helps us reach more people who are ready to embrace their inner silent lion. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel for more insights on personal growth, leadership, and mindful living. And if you found this content valuable, check out our playlist on mastering emotional intelligence for tools to help you build deeper connections and resilience. Thank you for watching. And remember, strength isn't about proving yourself to the world. It's about staying true to yourself. Be the lion who observes, waits, and acts with wisdom. Your roar may be silent, but its impact will echo far and wide.